Okay. So, do I just start with your name? Yeah. Hi, I'm Vikkie Ludwig, and I'm here to host today's presentation of ASEA, and I want to present to you this morning Steve Aquilina. Now, Steve is a husband and father of 4. He's been in ASEA almost 6 years. He's an international entrepreneur, leading sales executive, marketeer, sales trainer, mindset mentor, and public speaker. And Steve is also, his expertise is in sales and marketing, sales training, public speaking, network marketing, social media, success mindset, law of attraction, and martial arts. He's an amazing man. So welcome this morning, Steve.
Hey, thanks very much, Vikkie. I appreciate the introduction, and it's great to get connected with you. You and I will soldier on this morning, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning here, so early that I haven't had a chance to see it yet. So I appreciate you, and thanks for looking after us, and our special guest that we'll have on soon. So folks, thank you very much for joining me here, and whatever time it is in your neck of the world. I'm glad that you've given us some of your valuable time, and it is very valuable, because if you had have paid money to be here and you didn't like what I had to say, I would just give you your money back. But your time, well, that's not something I can refund. So I'm very grateful that you've decided to spend that value with me, and I don't intend to waste it. It was almost 6 years ago that this information was first handed to me, and since then it's been high priority for me to bring it to everybody's attention, because this information, its level of importance is incredibly high, because the impact that it's having in people's lives is significantly deep. Significantly. And so I am filled with a great sense of responsibility. I feel very much compelled to bring this to everybody's attention. And I think once you see this information, you may feel that same compulsion to bring it to your loved ones. And so what I'll be speaking about is nothing less than the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say that this is a very big breakthrough, greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin. This is an exciting and entirely new frontier in science, so it's likely that you've never seen or heard of anything like this before. And by the way, for 2 decades, science had declared this was impossible. So yes, today you're going to see the impossible made possible. This is a breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities and world authority laboratory medical studies. It's a very, very advanced breakthrough. We're talking 15 years ahead of its time. And any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results. And drug companies, big drug companies, wanted it shut down. I don't think they wanted you to know about it, but we'll talk about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be absolutely clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. This is not a drug, not vitamins, minerals, or antioxidants. It's also not secret herbs, spices, exotic berries, fancy juices, super shakes, essential oils, magic magnets, alkaline waters, electrolyte waters, laser lights, roots, and magical 5,000-year-old trees, CBD oils, lotions, potions, gadgets, or any of all of that other stuff that's already out there. No. Instead, what we'll be talking about is an entirely new frontier in science that goes well beyond nutrition. It goes well beyond any type of ingredients you already know about, because this is truly not just a groundbreaking, but category creating healthcare breakthrough. So this is what it is that we're going to talk about first: ASEA Redox cell signaling technology. Now, it contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells. So they're made within your body. So they are native to your body. Redox signaling molecules are the cellular messages that affect cell signaling, cell-to-cell communication, all the way down to your genetic expressions in a positive way. And redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that allows your body to regenerate tissue and maintain health by allowing your cells to detect and protect healthy cells, detect and repair unhealthy cells, and detect and replace the damaged cells that are too far gone to be repaired. So basically, redox signaling empowers your body to heal itself. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this so important? Because we're all made of cells. Every single part of us, inside out, head to toe. We live and die, therefore, at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life. They're the keys to life. The keys, because redox signaling molecules are essential for the function of our normal physiology. All of our biochemical and physiological processes in our body critically depend on redox signaling in and among our cells. Now, when I say critically, I mean critically, because if all of our cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, we wouldn't live longer than a few more seconds. Without our redox signaling molecules, our life ends. Now, when we're born, we make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy. They can run around all day and not wake up sore the next day, and how children can generally bounce back very quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down, our bodies break down. And so our cells' ability, our body's ability to make redox signaling molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules, therefore, giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing processes that we just discussed, they become very slow and sluggish. And as such, our cells, our body breaks down even more. And so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. Now, ASEA takes science very seriously, so much so that they don't do any of their scientific studies all themselves. Instead, ASEA is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of redox signaling supplementation by ASEA, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products and certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. Now, we are in a field of very serious science. Redox is based in Nobel Prize winning research. Since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is the National Library of Medicine, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see there are well over 33,000 results, and there's more than this now. There's more than 150 studies coming out almost every single month. And so this is a very difficult slide for me to keep up to date. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling molecules. And so according to medical researchers, redox signaling is one of the fastest, if not the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. And I'll give you some examples. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and world redox congresses being held all about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and a title that includes Director of Redox Medicine, and ASEA is already light years ahead of all this. Now, as we discussed, ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits. Now, that translates in a nutshell to health at its most foundational level. And here's an example of that from a scientific study. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect our genes that improve immune system health. that help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, that help maintain our cardiovascular health and support our arterial elasticity, that improves gut health and digestive enzyme production, and that modulates our hormone balances to support vitality and wellness. But there's way more than just this. You know, these genes are key in the health of every individual, the ones we just mentioned, and they play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, ooh, excuse me, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Now, on top of all of that, ASEA Redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. Now, this is significant. Head professors of this university study have come out saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on what they called disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. The significance of that is all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. It's safer than the water you drink, even if it's bought out of a bottle. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. That means they're already in you. Your body already makes them. It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and or healthier. And all we're doing is replacing them and topping your bodies back up to the levels it had in redox signaling molecules when it was younger. So whether you have health challenges or whether you have somebody you care for that does, or whether you have a wish that you could look, live and feel younger again, or if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, or if you have goals of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism in your sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, any health goal you can think of, redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But rather than trying to take my word for it, let's listen to some medical doctors right now and what they have to say about the field of redox medicine.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the The body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
All right, so now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, which can be tricky to see, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. And that's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology, Renew 28 Revitalizing Redox Gel, and Renew Advanced Intensive Redox Serum. Now, these Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, Renew Advanced Gentle Refining Cleanser and Ultra Replenishing Moisturizer. But a picture paints 1,000 words, or a picture speaks 1,000 words, or something like that. So let's let some of these pictures do the talking for you, for me right now. Well, most of it anyway. And what you're going to see here is more than anti-aging results. In many regards, you're going to see age-reversing results. And what you see is lines and wrinkles being smoothed out, and elasticity coming back to the skin, inflammations, irritations, aggravations, other signs of poor health to the skin being renewed, being rejuvenated, skin cells being replaced and brought back to better health. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions are being brought back to the proper surface of the skin. Now, all of these pictures you see here are of the same person. Yes, even the first two on the left there, even though there's a dramatic difference, it is Rosie, 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 Rosie. Now, Rosie didn't think that the products were doing anything because Rosie didn't take these pictures. And so over the 7 weeks, her first 7 weeks, she missed the moment by moment, day by day, week by week changes that were happening. It was Rosie's doctor who introduced ASEA to her, and also the one that took these pictures. So when Rosie reported back to her doctor and said, these products don't work, and then the doctor showed the pictures, what do you think Rosie thought then? So moral of this story, number one, take pictures when you get back with your family member or friend, whoever is introducing you here, and naturally you want to see how ASEA goes. Take pictures. That's how you see how it goes. And for the stuff you can't take pictures of, keep a written record of it. And second moral of this story is people notice results very quickly, like Rosie. Some people notice results in, around 7 weeks, and some notice results in 7 days, and many people notice results in 7 minutes. However, other people, if there's more going on with their health, then they may need to use more product and give it more time and allow more patience. What we know scientifically is that redox signaling molecules work on every single person every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for redox to not work in you. But what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. Now, speaking of noticing the change, this is Dr. Martin Moran, and he decided to do a scientific experiment on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? I'll give you some clues. Have a look at the lines running down either side of the corners of the mouth and the lines running down either side of the nose. And what about the cheeks? Do you notice any difference in the definition of fine lines on one cheek as opposed to the other? Or what about the bagginess, the bunchiness on one side? Now, here might be the biggest clue of all. Have a look at how those glasses are slanting to one side, perhaps suggesting more droopiness on one side of the face as opposed to the other. Now, Dr. Marty Moran, I'm incredibly grateful to him because he walked around like a weirdo. Now that you can see the difference, you won't be able to unsee it. He walked around like this for 28 days just to prove to us all how effective Renew 28 is. Thank you, Doc. Now, it's not just for your face. Here you can see arm, hand, belly, another picture of a belly over time. And here's a picture of some bums. Now, these are pictures from a scientific study performed by a very renowned and world-leading laboratory. This scientific organization did this study because there were many reports coming in from all over the world that people were seeing their cellulite disappear, and they were attributing it to the time that they'd been using Renew 28. And so the scientists of this organization set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see if there was any truth to these stories. And what they found was that after 12 weeks, there was in fact a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when these scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening, they saw the fat, the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite, was actually being dissolved post the use of Renew 28. And so Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture and smoothing the skin, supports skin cell renewal for not just visibly younger looking skin, but actually healthier skin. Renew 28 helps soothe skin discomfort after such things as shaving or sun exposure and things like that. But Renew 28 is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. Now, you can know if ASEA works in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort, for example, neck, shoulder, elbow, hand, fingers, back, hip, knees, ankles, anywhere, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on the point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. And usually 9 to 10 out of 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 5, 10, 15 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. What I'm going to do, Vikkie, is I'm going to hand it back to you. If I could ask you to introduce our very special guest today with a very special story. Thanks, Vikkie.
Yes, thank you, Stevie. Thank you for that presentation. That was wonderful. And I'm sure people got a lot of information out of that as well. So anyone has any questions, we'd love you to put those questions in the message box and comment on that. So I'd like to introduce you now, excuse me, introduce you now to a very, very special guest speaker. His name is Dan Doyle. Dan is an Aussie living in Hawaii. How amazing is that? And I'm sure you're enjoying it over there, Dan. Now, Dan is from a 2-year severe life concerning health challenge he's had in the past, and to having his life given back to him by Redox. Now, Dan is an international multi-million-dollar success story. He's an ASEA ambassador triple diamond and top 3 ranking in ASEA worldwide. ASEA also in the ASEA Global Council advisory member. He's also on the ASEA $1 Million Earners Club, and Dan is also the recipient of the ASEA Business Builder Award, Entrepreneurial Spirit Award, and Emerging Leader of the Year Award. And he is an amazing man. So I'd like to introduce you now to Dan Doyle. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Vikkie. And in saying all that, I'm just a normal person, as we all are. Nothing special. As a matter of fact, if I can help people as I have through this incredible opportunity that we have, and build and create and achieve what I've done, anybody can do that also. Stevie, thanks for another incredible presentation. Firstly, I'd just like to say, anybody who is on this call, please relax, because we're not here to sell you anything or convince you of anything. We're here to just share our stories. We don't sell, we tell, and we create stories by helping people with their health, and then they go tell others. So I'm going to go through my journey back to health. But before I do that, I always like to reiterate the company disclaimer that these products are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. If you're on this call for the first time, someone's handed you a gift, one of the biggest gifts you'll ever receive in your whole entire life. And all we're doing here is providing you with information so you can make a decision whether you want to open that gift or not and use that gift either to potentially take you, your loved ones, your family back to health, or wherever you want to go financially. So I grew up in Sydney in Australia and played many sports. This was one of them, bodybuilding. This was the start of me being a young entrepreneur. I was 24 years old here. And over the next 20 years, I built and sold 20 traditional businesses, employed about 3,500 people. 20 years later, at the age of 44, still keeping fit and healthy, not a bodybuilder anymore, but not knowing at this time this was coming towards the end of me being an entrepreneur, very successful with everything that I did, due to the fact that 6 months after this photo was taken in 2011, the doctors gave me some very bad news, and this is a photo of me spending a lot of time in and out of a hospital in Sydney in Australia, going through what I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. Had a very fake smile here, trying to put on a brave face in this photo because it was with a hero of mine. Johnny Manor played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He'd been through these hospital visits earlier on in his life. Unfortunately, after this photo, his issue came back and he went back into hospital and started going through all those terrible things that I started in this photo. And we lost him at the age of 23 years old. It was a terrible time. At the end of what I went through for the 2.5 years of what they did to me, mind you, getting this terrible issue that I had through using the weed killer, Roundup, and when I was flipping properties in Australia, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order, which was a bit of a shock. I, to that point, believed in traditional medicine and nothing else, but I flicked the switch and moved to what I didn't believe in, which was alternative functional naturopaths, looking after my own health. I took the responsibility of my health back into my own hands. Did some research. My research led to an alkaline diet, and I cleaned up my diet. You know, us Aussies like our barbies and steak and beer, red wine, and all that was gone. So I was on a very clean diet and also spending a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water from a lot of different companies from around the world. Now, you would think with me looking after my own health in that way, that my health would have been heading in the right direction, but I can tell you that that didn't happen. This is a photo of me trying to look after my health for 2 years. I look 30 years older than what I did when I first started cleaning up my act, and my blood works were still heading in the wrong direction. I was still in a lot of trouble with my health. This is 2014. A friend of mine reached out to me and said, I think I found something that can help. So long story short, I jumped on a plane, flew to Salt Lake City, Utah from Sydney, started on these redox signaling molecules. In 3 hours, things were expelling from my body so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year caffeine intolerance had gone away. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over, discomfort, bloating, and very uncomfortable all day. In 48 to 72 hours, because I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital, I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. 3 days on this product, my lungs were functioning perfect. I went back home to Australia at that time, kept drinking the product. Fast forward 12 months, 2015, this is the day the doctors told me there was no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away. 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt top to bottom in 12 months with consuming these molecules. Fast forward 2 years, 3 years on the product, this is the anti-aging. See, the complexion's a lot clearer. If I go back through these photos, this is 2014. So as far as someone's complexion is concerned, it's always a reflection of what's going on the inside of somebody. And that is exactly what was happening to me here at that time. 2015, this is a reflection of what was going on the inside. and 2017, this is a reflection of what was going on the inside of me at that time. So obviously this is me now. We're live and feeling fitter than ever and looking pretty okay as well. That was my journey back to health, back to looking younger and feeling younger. Now, I had no intention initially to adopt the business model, to share this with anybody else because I was selfish. I was in this for my own health. But what happened over time, and it took 5 months, unfortunately, it became a responsibility to share this with others, to help others with their health. So it moved from looking after me with my health to this purpose-filled mission to help other people. Now, I say that it's the actual business behind this that saved my life, because if it wasn't for the business, I wouldn't have had the ability to share this with others. If I couldn't share it with other people, I wouldn't have received thank you checks, and those thank you checks I invested into more product for my health. So this is the most compelling business opportunity that I have ever seen in my entire life. And as I said, I've been through traditional business, corporate jobs, been there, done that. This business model, ASEA, has turned into the best and most compelling business model and opportunity that we'll ever see. We've got the leadership, Tyler Norton, Vertus Norton, the founders of this company, coming from Fortune 50 companies. We've got the field leadership and the corporate leadership that are amongst the best in our industry. We've got the best compensation plan in the industry, the biggest breakthrough, and this incredible ethos that the company leads with, that teaches us to help people and to help people to help people, and everything else happens. I've been looking for something for many, many years to leave my legacy to the world, to leave my legacy to humanity, to something to be remembered by. I tried to do that through traditional business, but I could never achieve that. Fell into this business model as a byproduct of losing my health. These owners, the founders of this company, has left this as their legacy to humanity. I have found something where I can do the same. Stevie and Vikkie is also doing that. And I know there's some people on this call that are doing that as well. So if you love helping people, and we can also, we can definitely help you to help others, and you would love to leave something to be remembered by. But, that's not just you helping a lot of people, but also family and generational wealth that you can actually set up for your children and your children's children. There is not a bigger and better platform or opportunity that we'll ever come across. With that, and to expand on that, I'm going to hand back to Stevie to talk a little bit about the opportunity, and then we'll do a Q&A before we wrap up. So Stevie, back to you. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Well, have a look and listen to you with all your 10:30-ish freshness. But you continue to look better and better and better. and I'm very glad to see that, because we've known each other for a long time now, and there was a time when you weren't looking well, and you didn't look like you were getting any better. And so I'm glad that you found this stuff, and very grateful for that. So I can have my best mate on this earth for a lot longer. I think 150 is your goal now. 150 is 150th birthday.
Yeah, 150. So a little bit off, one third of the way through. But no, it's just amazing the power of leverage and how this works. I mean, I personally introduced this to about 100 people over the last 5.5 years, and amazingly, that's turned into 40,000 people in 33 countries. So the power of this business model and leverage. And this is the most satisfying thing I've done in my life. But what is satisfying about it is, I introduced you to this, and you've introduced it to somebody else, who introduced it to somebody else, who introduced it to somebody else. And that person might have had a life-threatening health challenge. And that person is still here because I opened my mouth in the first place, and then you did as well. So magic happens when we're talking to people.
Yeah, and such was the case. What Dan didn't know, folks, when he gave me the call, was that my father and my mother-in-law were struggling with some very scary situations with their health that put concern upon their life, to be quite honest. And Dan didn't know that when he called. And maybe you won't know that about other people as well, but just by being kind enough to make a call, you could have a very significant impact on somebody's life, just like Dan did on my life, being able to take care of those loved ones who are in great nick today, by the way. Great nick. So thank you very much, Dan. And also, we knew people who were struggling physically, and while Sarah and I, my wife, we had our own physical struggles as well, certainly nothing life concerning, but our financial struggles were life concerning. And Dan didn't know that at the time either. So you never know where this could go and where it needs to be until you pick up the phone and you're just kind enough to make a call. So thank you, Dan. I'll be eternally grateful to you. There's nothing I can do to repay you, and the support and the care that you continue to give Sarah and I just makes it harder and harder to repay you. But folks, you can follow Dan all around the world, and you can have his success too. Sarah and I are very fortunate to be on that path too. And it's taken us to places that we could once upon a time only dream about. But most importantly, as Dan said, it's allowed us to have an impact and make a difference in people's lives that makes us sleep very, very well. And I don't know if Dan mentioned it today, but usually he calls them thank you checks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift gears here, and I'm going to talk to you about the opportunity and how we get paid in thank you checks and how that's the best commission of all. Now, the truth is, with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. So there's a very significant opportunity here to make a living while bettering people's lives. It's the most compelling opportunity in the world right now. And let me give you some reasons why. Number one, ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two simple reasons. One, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, who's a medical atomic physicist, no one other than he has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. For the 2 decades before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, science had declared that this was impossible. And two, ASEA is heavily patented. Now, not only is it not allowed to be copied, it can't be. There's no way to look in a bottle of ASEA and reverse engineer it, because there are trade secrets in making ASEA. So it is virtually impossible. It can't be copied. That means we have no copycats. We will have no copycats. And that means we have no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has, and no other product in the world can do what ASEA does. And that's for a simple reason. We're the only company in the world that has redox signaling molecules. Redox works on everybody. Nothing in the body works as well, or in fact at all, without redox. Redox can't hurt anybody. Everybody needs redox. And so our products work at a depth and level of achievement in the human body like nothing else can get to. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors. All health science sectors scientifically need what we have, whether it be healthcare, wellness, whether it be sports science, athletic performance, or whether it be beauty, skincare, aging, longevity. These are multi-trillion-dollar industries, by the way. And ASEA, again, is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from, and the entire world needs it. And so ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Now, our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help you. We want to help a lot of people. We want to help the entire world. And so that's a very big goal. And so we need some very big help. We can't do it all on our own. And so we look for people to help spread the word. And ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn thank you checks and money just by sharing redox with others. Here's how it works. You receive a residual income. That's an ongoing income, not only from the first purchase, but also from every single lifelong ongoing purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. And you can refer as many people as you like. So not only can that income be for the life of the purchases, but you can make it as wide as you like. On top, you also receive a residual income from the lifelong ongoing purchases made by every single person that those other people refer as they refer others who refer others who refer others. Look, we all do this already. Think about it. Just like when we recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, or whatever, people naturally tell people who then tell other people who then naturally tell even more people. It's called word of mouth marketing. And it's the most ancient, but also still today, the number one most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits. Think about it, how connected the world is in today's age. Word spreads worldwide very easily, very simply. And ASEA is currently in 35 countries. We're opening up new markets almost every single year. And based on math, not guesswork, based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. So for people who are looking for an extra or a part-time or a full-time or a big time or a legacy leaving income for loved ones, there's levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. For people who are switched on, smart, cluey, business-minded, for people who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, for people who are able to recognize a good thing when it's coming their way. Most importantly, for people with a good heart and good intentions and good principles, this is a very significant opportunity to make a very significant difference in people's lives and to be paid a very significant residual income from the growth of this global expansion. Now, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with ASEA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make really great money here, that's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. That's what all these pictures are of my wife and I. As I said before, Dan's allowed us to get to places that once upon a time we could only dream of, and we get to meet great people, make great friends, have great experiences and a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's the effect we have on others that is one of the most valuable currencies there is. So why aren't you hearing about this from your doctor? That was one of my big and first main questions. Maybe it's yours too. And you know what? Maybe today you are hearing about this from your doctor, because there are now hundreds of medical doctors all over the world now recommending Redox to their patients, and they're seeing unprecedented results. But the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research and clinical studies that were proving ASEA, those big drug companies did offer to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights ownership to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down and they wanted everyone taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus Norton and his son Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight and heart to see grave concerns and consequences in doing such a deal with big drug companies, because Virtus and Tyler got to see people who had come from severe health challenges that once upon a time left them and their doctors feeling hopeless, to now experiencing life-changing power, life-changing results and experiences from Redox. And when they saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose and sincere sense of responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity, because that's what it is. Don't mistake this, a breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they said no to the payout because they felt compelled to say yes to the people. It was the right thing to do. And so you see, what had started as just a big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down huge sums of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route. Bottom line is, in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, because they wanted to make it available immediately to you and to everyone without a prescription. Now, one of ASEA's principles, as demonstrated in this very important decision, is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. And that's exactly what Virtus and Tyler did here. And it's exactly what their company does in every single decision that they make. Now, the ASEA founders here and their corporate team, they come from very exceptional backgrounds. They come from up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. And so they're exceptionally professional and experienced in running very big, profitable, famous, household name companies. but their corporate soul is also what makes them unique and truly first class. And to them, sincerely, at the end of the day, it is people that matter most. And so you're in very good hands. Now, I invite you to get back with the person who invited you here. You don't worry about what the time is in your neck of the woods. You can give them a call. They'll just be glad to hear from you. Let them know that you were here. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. We can help you with that in a moment too, but we can all point you to where you can find the answers very easily, because there's plenty of university studies. But here's the most important part, is what gives our claim of breakthrough an exclamation mark. There are hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see a seer is the real deal. So let me ask you, do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Now start by doing it with one person, and that person is you. And if you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can also better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways also. Become part of this redox reality and you can become more. So thank you very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy. May you always be well. And thank you very much, Dan. And thank you very much for looking after us, Vikkie.
Yes, well, that was an amazing presentation. Thank you so much for that, Stevie. It's been quite something to listen to and be a part of this company as well. And I just absolutely love a seer and taking the products myself. And so thanks so much, Stevie. Thanks again, Dan, too, for just giving us your testimony and just being real, for both of you, actually, just being real, and just that's who we are, aren't we? We're real people, and we have lives, and we like to share these things with other people because we want them to be a part of it as well. So thank you so much again for that, Stevie and Dan. Amazing.